What is good, YouTube? This is your boy Aaron.
It's Brian.
It's the Courtside View Podcast, and we are back today to react to Week 10 of the NFL, and then we're also going to talk about some other news regarding the Chicago Bears. Every Tuesday, it's been a pattern for the past 7 weeks. Something goes down on Tuesday, and yet again, the Chicago Bears fire their offensive coordinator, and Shane Waldron. Listen, if you've been paying attention to the Chicago Bears this season, you know just how bad their offense has been. If you watch ESPN, if you watch Get Up, if you watch First Take, if you watch NFL Live, you'll notice just the amount of times that these football analysts were just critiquing the offensive play calling and offensive play designs of the Chicago Bears. Well, part of the reason why that is because of Shane Waldron, offensive coordinator. They finally let him go. This was not surprising at all. This was only a matter of time. Matt Eberflus, he's on a hot seat, so he has to do something, because if not, they continue to lose, he's going to be gone as well. And so they finally made the move. I think it's too little too late. It looks like Caleb Williams is already broken right now. I think they should have fired him like 3 weeks ago. They waited until, hey, you lose to the Patriots, you lose to the Cardinals, and you lose to the Commanders, albeit Hail Mary, but still the offense was struggling against a middle-of-the-pack defense in the Commanders. What was your thoughts on this firing, Brian?
It is about time. I mean, seriously. First of all, he shouldn't have even been hired. Let's start there, because the man wasn't doing much of anything in Seattle. He was getting carried strictly off of talent. I mean, they had Kenneth Walker, JSN, Tyler Lockett, and DK Metcalf, and Geno Smith. I mean, and he still couldn't get it done. I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't even know why he was even hired in the first place. But it is about time that they got him out the paint, because boy, oh boy, that offense was putrid. And like you said, it might be too little too late. Caleb out there looking like he don't know how to play football no more. And it's like, oh man, they done broke him. You gonna wait until week 10 to fire this dude, when we all saw the writing on the wall in about week 5? That game against what game was
it
that?
the Jaguars?
Yeah, it was like the Jags
Were
or the
they
Colts. It
bad?
was one of them. Yeah, it was one of them.
Oh,
It
the
was, it was
Colts. Yeah, the
just
Colts game. That was the
yeah,
bad one. That was the bad one.
yeah. I was like, come on, son. And then yeah, just Shane Waldron was doing that offense any favors. The players started to quit and stop giving half effort and not going hard at 100% every play. And so, Eberflus, he probably got a tap on the shoulder by Ryan Poles, and was like, "You better do something." And he was like, "Okay." And he fired Shane Waldron.
He was like, if you don't do something, you're done.
Yeah.
on
Yes,
Illuminati voice.
he said, "You're
You're
done.
done.
There's no way out of this
Yeah,
one."
yeah, you're done, buddy. Just looking at Caleb Williams' stats from the previous game: 16 for 30. Good God, 120 passing yards, 0 touchdowns. I mean, he has 0 interceptions, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, 120 passing yards. Good God. Yeah, it was time for him to go, because Caleb Williams, for a quarterback in this era, in this generation, to only pass for 120 yards, and you're not rushing the ball like 2 carries for 15 yards, if you're not getting like 70 rushing yards on top of 120 passing yards, then something is up. And then you're 16 for 30. Oh my God. Yeah, it was time for him to go, man. Like I said this weeks ago. Caleb Williams is regressing. Caleb Williams is getting worse. He looked broken. Like there's plays in the film where he's holding the ball too long. He's not pulling the trigger. He's being inaccurate. Like, these are concerns that we saw from week 1, and they're still here right now. Man, Chicago Bears, they've done it again. They've broken a QB. Now, he could be fixed. This is not the end all be all. But this is why organizations like the Chicago Bears are never able to develop a quarterback, because when you have the opportunity to surround your quarterback with good coaching, they continue to allow the coach to stay one more year than he should have. Matt Nagy, and now Matt Eberflus. They keep doing the same old when they should have just cleaned house, start over, start fresh. That way, if you're trying to bring in an offensive-minded coach, an offensive coordinator that's really good, that you really want, they won't feel like their job is on the line. They won't feel like, man, if I don't have a good 7 weeks, then I'm gone. Like you have to establish something. And it just seems like the Chicago Bears are never able to establish anything. It just seems like they're always firing somebody. They're always a year too late. And this is just another example of that. I'm looking at the Patriots. Man, Brian, we said this before the season started. What, bro? Look at the Patriots. Look at the Bears. Drake
Mm-hmm.
May, Caleb Williams. Now, Drake May didn't have the best game. I mean, 15 for 25, 184 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Damn it. It wasn't worse than what Caleb is having right now. Like, Caleb is regressing. Like, Drake May, you see the flashes. You see the signs of good QB play. Caleb Williams, you don't see that at all. And that boils down to culture, situation, where you get drafted. It doesn't matter how much talent you have. If the coaching is bad, the coaching is bad. And right now, the Patriots have more stability. Why? Because they hired a new head coach. They have a new coaching staff. Drake May was able to sit for like 3 to 4 weeks before they started him. So he's able to watch, learn, see what Jacoby Brissett is doing right and what he's doing wrong. And then he comes in. First game wasn't all that pretty, but I think he threw like 2 or 3 touchdowns that game. Like, he's been hot and cold, but he hasn't been god awful. He hasn't been embarrassing to watch. He's a rookie, but he's showing flashes. Caleb Williams is not showing those flashes. Not right now, at least, because in the beginning, he was showing some flashes, but now we don't even see the flashes anymore. We just see bad football play. And a lot of that has to do with coaching. You could also point to the offensive line. But, dude, this just boils down to coaching at the end of the day. And the fact that they neglected to just clean house because they felt like, oh, Matt Eberflus, the defense was good last year, so let's give him another opportunity again. Maybe if we improve the quarterback situation and we bring in more talent, that's going to work. This is not the NBA. Like, this is the NFL. Like, coaching matters at the end of the day, and they got what they deserved, and that is 4-5 right now. That is a team that's on the brink of disaster.
Yeah, it's very possible they don't win a single game for the rest of the year.
Why'd they have to change coaches now, though? Like, why this week against my Packers? Like, why
Y'all
gotta
be
be against the
fine.
Packers? Man, like, you never know. Like, you
Y'all
change
will be fine.
coordinators. That the element of surprise. Damn, why they gotta be against my team though? Why couldn't it be against, I don't know, another team? Could have did it against the Patriots. Could have did it against the Cardinals. But the Packers, the mighty Packers, is because we're rivals. I understand. I get it. You're playing a division rival.
Y'all own the Bears. Y'all should be good.
I know. We're gonna beat them anyway. But I still wanted to at least have the opportunity for my team to one up the Chicago Bears.
He said, I want to beat up on the sorry Bears too.
Hell yeah. I wanted to they keep showing a past game where the Packers, I think Aaron Rodgers threw for like 6 touchdowns in like one half. I was like, man, I want that type of game. I was like, man, like, let me have that type of game, bro. Please. But it is what it is. It's still going to be difficult for them. If Evan Williams and Jair Alexander is healthy, good luck. God bless Caleb, because it's going to be a long day in that secondary, because Evan Williams is no joke. And Jair, we already know what Jair is, one of the better corners in NFL. So, yeah, man, it's just dark days for the Chicago Bears, and I'm not sad at all about it. I'm actually pretty happy. I wish nothing but the best for Caleb Williams, but you're playing for the op, so yeah, I'm not praying for your downfall, but I'm not sad about it. You know what I mean? All right. With that being said, that is our Bears segment. Let's react to some of the games.
A lot of garbage this week.
Yeah, it was a lot of garbage this week. Matter of fact, before we do that, I need to make sure what was my record for this week? What was our
I'm
record
about
for
to
this
count
week?
mine up right now.
Because I was wrong about the Giants. I picked the Giants. Man, you lose to the
I did
freaking
that too.
Panthers. I was wrong about the Bears. I knew that was a freaking coin flip game. But you know what? I'll take it. It's wrong about the Bears. I was right about the Bills. Let me
Ooh,
count. Let me count right
I
now.
think I only got
So
9 right.
I got Bills, Chiefs, 49ers, Steelers, Vikings, Chargers, Eagles,
9
that's
and 5.
7. Lions. I think I only have 8. I think I only got 8 right. This is a bad week.
Freaking Jets, man, they cooked me.
This is a bad week. This is a bad week. I trusted in the Jets way too much. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And then the Rams. And then the Rams. I thought the Rams had this going away. What happened? That was a confusing game for me.
The defense came play for the Dolphins. Stafford looked old and washed. He couldn't see pressure. He could have sensed the pressure all night. He was getting killed back there.
He looking like 2022 Stafford. Like, what's going on? Like, you still had that, what was it, an elbow injury he had 2022 he was dealing with? What's going on? Like, how you let that happen? Well, I'm going to just have to take it. It was a bad week. I mean, the Falcons lose to the Saints. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought that?
That's why the Falcons will forever be a non-contender because they always lose games like that.
Yeah, man. I was right about the Ravens. I know we didn't pick them. Matter of fact, I have 9 right. What am I talking about? I have 9 right. Yeah, I didn't pick them on camera. I have 9 right because I picked the Ravens. I didn't count that game. Yeah, man. All right. Well, let's react to the games real quick. We don't need to talk about some of these bottom feeder games. Let's see what we got here. Real hey, Eagles versus Cowboys. We can talk about that real quick, and then we can move on. Eagles, obviously, Cowboys. They don't have Dak, and
he's out for the year. Actually,
yeah, he's out for the year. So I mean, it was inevitable. The Eagles, they just dominated from start to finish. Have the Eagles faced anybody like a good team since the Packers? Like, I'm trying to remember because they're like 7-2 right now. They've been on a roll recently, but like, I don't think they faced any like real competition. They've been beating up on some pretty bad teams, if I'm not mistaken.
The best team they played was the Bengals that they won against.
Exactly. Okay, so they've been a lot of mid, a lot of bad
outside of your Packers week 1, but yeah, Bengals.
Yeah, a lot of mid, they've had a pretty easy schedule. Man.
Yeah.
What's going on?
And it doesn't get much harder. I mean, they got Steelers, Ravens,
Commanders, Ravens,
Rams.
We'll see what they made up. We'll see what they made up in the next 5 weeks.
Definitely has hints of fraudulence in them.
Yeah, I'm hearing, you know what? They're back to being contenders. I don't know. I mean, they're winning. Give them credit. They are winning.
It took them forever to score in that Cowboys defense that has so many injuries. I know Micah came back, but Jalen Hurts looked like trash that first half. Then he turned it on the second half. But like, if that was a competent team, they would have lost.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But hey, it is what it is. I don't think they're that good in my opinion. But
7-2.
That is true. They'll get to the playoffs. They're getting bounced in the first round though.
But I feel like they're in the same boat as like the Steelers and the Vikings, where they're a good team, but are they really contenders? You feel me? Like, you could tell that there are some flaws with these teams. Like, they're a tier below, in my opinion. I think they could win a playoff game, but besides that, I don't see much of else.
Yeah, I don't think they're really contenders in my book.
I just think the defense it has been playing better, but in the playoffs, I just don't see that defense really holding up. against the great teams, against the Lions, obviously. I think the
Or
49ers
the
can get him.
49ers, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just me, man. That's just me. Um, I want to talk about the Steelers versus the Commanders game. Close game. Commanders almost had him, but they have the worst starting corner in the NFL, and he got cooked by Mike Williams. So that's all. That's all they wrote.
Yeah.
28-27. They had Russell Wilson doing the little A-B dance, doing a little
Hmm.
like, oh my god. So that was so cringe. That was so cringe. But what was your thoughts on this game?
Um, I wasn't surprised this game was as close as it was. But ultimately, I picked the Steelers because I saw the script and also that um, is that they have a top tier defense. I mean, and at the end of the day, if you need the Commanders see the problem, Dan Quinn defense strikes again, can't get off the field on third down. The Steelers were very efficient on them third downs, and that ultimately is what lost the Commanders the game pretty much. Jaden Daniels, he never faced a defense like that in his life, so he didn't play. He didn't have the greatest game ever, even though he still played relatively well for a rookie. But it is what it is. The Steelers got the coaching experience. They got the veterans. You got Russell Wilson, who's still playing good football. George Pickens turning into an acrobat to make touchdown catches and stuff, and then crashing out when Russ threw an interception and immediately on some Tom and Jerry stuff started fighting. I don't know what DB that was, but that brother got some serious issues. But
Yeah, he did.
yeah, man, this Steelers they're continuing to beat teams. The Mike Tomlin magic, man. I don't know what it is, but Mike Tomlin teams they just continue to win and win games.
That complimentary football, man.
Oh yeah.
Offense play well, defense play well. Hey, so like Jalen Warren, I thought he ran the ball very effective, 4.7 yards per carry. George Pickens, you mentioned it before, 5 receptions, 91 yards, 1 touchdown. Mike Williams he had 1 reception, but it didn't, 1 reception for 32 yards, but a touchdown. They just made the plays when it mattered most, and that's why they won. And with the Commanders, it boils down to, again, that secondary, the weakest link, and it cost them the game. That's why they traded for Marshawn Lattimore. And guess what? When he comes back, he's going to be a huge addition to that team because they need a shutdown corner, and he will provide that. Hopefully, the hamstring isn't too serious that will really like hurt him in the long run because they're going to need him in order to make a playoff push. And now they have the Eagles coming up. We'll see how that works out for them. Thursday night football. It's a different breed on the road too in Philly. Oh my God, Jaden Daniels, good luck, my brother, because it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult. But man, this was an awesome game to watch, man. Like just going back and forth. The game was very competitive. It wasn't too defensive heavy. Like there was some scoring going around, but it was also good defense at the end of the day. Jaden Daniels, he had 0 touchdowns, but he didn't turn the football over. His completion percentage could be a lot better. He had 202 yards passing. But ultimately, this boils down to just, again, the Commanders. They need Marshawn Lattimore to come back because these corners on the outside for them are just not good enough. And it showed itself against the Steelers when Mike Williams was able to get open. Won the game because of that. So got to give Mike
Yeah,
Tomlin and that team credit. I didn't see Russell Wilson really doing this in this day and age, but I didn't see Russell Wilson throwing for 3 touchdowns in this day and age. But hey, he's proving us wrong. He's proving me wrong. He's not writing back, and he's letting Sean Payton know that this could have been you. This could have been us, but you decided to be in your feelings and stuff, and now another organization is paying pennies on the dollars for my services, and I'm putting up numbers with this team, and we're winning football games, and we're in contention, and we might win a division because of it. So, yeah, man.
yeah,
Pittsburgh Steelers, they keep getting away with it every single year, but now they actually have a quarterback that can actually play consistently enough. So, Mike
yeah.
Tomlin, do you think he's coach of the year right now?
Hmm. Between I think it's either him or Dan Campbell.
Ooh, Dan Campbell. Ooh, that's an interesting one. What about Dan Quinn?
I was about to say you could throw Dan Quinn in the mix too. I mean, this is a year one of a rebuild, and he's 7-3 with a rookie QB. I mean, hey, that's impressive.
He didn't say it was a rebuild at all.
A
He
re a
said it
re a
before
retool or something like that.
a recalibration.
Recalibration, yeah.
He called that out before they even drafted Jaden Daniels. I was like, that was some ballsy stuff. He was right. He
Yeah.
did it. Hey, that's some gangster stuff right there. All right, let's go to the 49ers versus the Buccaneers. Now, Baker Mayfield, he got some dog in him. He got some fight. We will remember his efforts, but you still lost. You had to
Mm.
lose against this team. Of all teams, you had to lose against the 49ers. You gave them life. They were dead in the water. If they lose this game, it would have been very, very difficult. I know they're in the NFC West. It's not all that good, but it would have been some doubts going around that locker room. Now you give them hope. Damn, Buccaneers. You had one job, you had one shot, and you blew it. And now you're not going to win the division. You're not going to win the NFC South because you're 2-4 at home. You're 4-6. The Falcons are the clear-cut favorite in the NFC South, and the 49ers are in prime position to win the NFC West. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Buccaneers. But yeah,
That
man.
Buccaneers defense sold them super hard. I mean,
Yeah,
good grief. They couldn't
Todd
do anything.
Bowles. Todd Bowles better count his days. He might be on the way out. Don't be shocked. I'm just saying that right now. I know they went to the playoffs last year, but I wouldn't put it past the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to eventually let go of Todd Bowles. It doesn't sound fair, but I've seen NFL organizations do stuff like that in the past, especially when you're known as a defensive guy and the defensive side of the ball is getting exposed every single
Yeah.
week. Christian
And
McCaffrey,
honestly,
yeah. Yeah, what are you gonna say?
people may not want to hear, but Vita Vea might have been a good dude.
Really?
He was getting
Already?
pushed back all game.
Maybe it was just a bad game. Maybe it's just a bad game. There's no way. I mean, come on now. Let's not do that. Let's not get too hasty. I mean, I
Listen,
watched
it
I've
wasn't
watched a
pretty.
few Buccaneers games, and he's been pretty solid, especially against that Chiefs game. Like he showed himself in that Chiefs game. Like let's not call him washed just yet. Let's give him a little pass.
Okay,
All
well,
right,
I
let's give
pumped
him a
the
little
brakes.
pass. Let's pump the brakes a little bit before we say he was a good dude. Like, come on now. But regardless, Christian McCaffrey came back. He could not run the ball at all. Like 13 carries, 39 yards. I don't know if that's because of Vita Vea, but at the end of the day, 13 carries for 39 yards is 13 carries for 39 yards. He did have 6 receptions for 68 yards receiving. Ricky Pearsall, he caught a touchdown. He looked tremendous this game. Deebo Samuel, as always. Jawan Jennings, he came in a clutch as well for them. Brock Purdy, he was okay. He did his thing. 20